What the hell's going on with Aaron Rodgers? I have checked my phone every morning when I roll over at 7 a.m. and I say I type Aaron Rodgers into the app formerly known as Twitter, and it yields no results, just memes. What's going on with Aaron Rodgers? Give me the latest.
Why you should not be waking up every day wondering.
I want to know because I love the league and I want to know where all the pieces fit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll tell you. All right. And I don't know when this is going to happen. You want to know when. I will tell you the what, how, and where. Aaron Rodgers will be the next Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. He will sign what is either literally or ostensibly a one-year deal. It is going to probably have some incentives. It's going to look good, the contract. He will enter OTAs in minicamp as QB1. Mason Rudolph is there. Maybe they draft a quarterback in a later round. Maybe they don't. Depends on how good they feel about some of these guys. You know about these guys better than I. What is he waiting for? I don't know. Like, we've been doing this for like 5 years with this guy. And I know that there was a Netflix show like Enigma, right? I don't know that it is an enigma. Like, he's waiting for whatever reason he wants to wait. And maybe he wants to see other teams. He wants to bend their will, right? And he thought that he was getting over on the Packers. And he didn't. And the Jets, he doesn't want to end on the note that he ended on with the Jets. So he's going to go to the Steelers. So is he waiting for the sake of vanity? Is he waiting so that Kyle Long always checks his phone about it? So that these shows talk about him off the top? Is he waiting because he wants to get a better offer from the Steelers? Is he going to threaten retirement? Remember when he was going to host Jeopardy?
Oh, yeah.
Right. He was never going to host Jeopardy.
That was a good one. I believed him.
Okay.
Well, remember when he was going to be VP?
That's right.
Yeah. That was good as well.
He might have been VP. I don't know. He had a better chance of being vice president than hosting Jeopardy. So, like, it's going to happen. And when it happens, I'm going to come on CBS Sports HQ and I'm going to say all of these things exactly. I wish that we could put it in a time capsule.
Yep, bury it in the sand.
Right. And then
2 weeks from now.
Then when it happens, someone just dubs in. So on this Wednesday, Aaron Rodgers has gone to,
You have
it's April 21st is the first day of OTAs, correct?
Sounds right.
Yeah, around that date. So, I mean, we're inching closer and closer.
But what's it matter? You can't throw a football on the field with anybody.
Yeah, but I mean, go get, you can get the playbook. You can have the group chat with the receivers. You can maybe schedule a pre-OTA trip.
He's throwing with DK Metcalf.
Right? Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about getting everybody there. I'm talking about the offense.
Yeah. It was a secret till it wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the whole group, because there are going to be a lot of guys trying to get into Aaron Rodgers' corner, whether it's in Pittsburgh or wherever the hell it is. My only concern is that he's taken this long. It leads me to believe that there's some doubt creeping into his mind. And when doubt creeps into your mind, if you're going bungee jumping and you wait longer than 5 minutes at the edge of the bridge, you're probably not going to jump. Tell me about Deshaun Watson. I heard Jerry Jones, he said he didn't know who his agent was. No. Jerry Jones didn't know Micah Parsons' agent.
Who actually happens to be Deshaun Watson's agent.
Deshaun Watson's agent.
Right.
There's a lot going on there. What's the latest with Deshaun Watson, the Cleveland Browns? What's coming out of Cleveland?
All right. So he signed the 5-year fully guaranteed contract. Had never been done before in the NFL.
First round pick, fourth round pick.
I think that's right. To the Houston Texans. A lot of people, I think at this point, with no doubt at all, it was the worst acquisition perhaps in sports history, right? When you talk about the trade and what they gave up, when you talk about the money and the compensation and how unprecedented so much of it was, and when you consider what they have gotten in return, it's the worst. And so Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, said to a group of reporters at the Breakers, he said, yeah, it was a big swing and a miss.
You said it.
The three of us know that, right? We do know that. But Deshaun is still employed on your roster. You are still paying him $40-some million this upcoming season. He is still rehabbing from that Achilles with, I'm certain, the thought that he is going to come back and play at an all-pro level in 2025. And you were already saying that was a big swing and a miss. Look,
you're not doing yourself or your team any favors.
It was shocking to hear. Now, as a journalist, I never want to tell these guys, well, don't tell me the truth, right? No, I appreciate that you have told me the truth, but could he have said, hey, that trade has not worked out so far, Could he have said that? And that's what we would have heard more from owners. It was a stunning thing to hear, even though we know it to be true. I don't think that the Deshaun Watson is ultimately going to play in 2025. I'm not entirely sure. We're going to get to the draft. I'm not entirely sure the Cleveland Browns would draft a quarterback at number 2 overall. And so do I think, if you ask me right now, please ask me this, who's going to be the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback week?
Who's going to be the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback week 1?
I think ultimately they will trade for Kirk Cousins. Because they have to, because sometimes like the NFL, it's just Occam's razor. Like
the arm was weak in the dome. I can't imagine it being much stronger on Lake Erie. That gives me an eerie feeling.
Okay.
And in the division that has only outdoor stadiums.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it's just going to be out there like.
Okay. So the quarterback they have on their roster right now is Kenny Pickett.
Yep.
They sling it.
Small hands.
I mean,
in the cold.
In all those outdoor stadiums because we stacked the division games at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett, Super Bowl champion. Kenny Pickett.
Don't forget it.
Yeah.
Never forget that.
No, the Browns are in a tough spot. And I think they'll, even if they trade for Kirk Cousins, I think they'll draft one in like the 4th, the 3rd, something like that. They're just going to throw the kitchen sink and just see what sticks, I'd assume. And I don't expect much to stick. Unfortunately, that's where they're at.
I was very surprised by that trade, the Kenny Pickett trade, by the way, when they traded Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Like, when I had heard that the Eagles were going to be trading Kenny Pickett, I was like, all right, it'd probably be like a 6th-round pick for him. And then it was a 5th from Cleveland. And then they threw in a quarterback on a rookie contract. I'm not saying Dorian Thompson-Robinson's, Brock Purdy, but it was. Why did you do that? I was very surprised about it. But again, Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett.